A rapper's death can either cement their legacy as a beloved legend or a terrible person. From Tupac to King Von, who didn't just kill for survival but also for fun before he faced his own demise, here are 6 rappers who inspired or horrified the world. Starting with XXXTentacion, who made it mainstream after dropping his 2017 hit Look At Me, which served as many listeners' first introduction to the new world of emo rap. But with his meteoric rise to fame came a lot of unwanted attention. On the 18th of June 2018, X hopped into his $150,000 BMW wearing a gold chain while carrying a Louis Vuitton bag containing $50,000 in cash before he and his uncle made their way to a motorcycle dealership. Little did he know that he was being followed. Shortly after leaving the dealership, his assailant struck, shooting him 6 times before stealing his bag of cash, the gold chain, and leaving X dead at the scene. When the news broke, the internet was in disbelief, with massive names like J. Cole writing, "This got me f***ed up, rip X." Now, X might have passed, but his music resulted in the start of many other successful artists' careers, like Trippie Redd and Billie Eilish. Meanwhile, much of his own personal business was left unfinished, like the lawsuit he was in for allegedly beating his ex-girlfriend, Geneva Ayala. Although that case was dropped after he was murdered, another controversy popped up. On October 23rd, 2018, just months after X passed, Pitchfork News released something incriminating.
I'm on New Times for stopping how many people they put in the news. They said 3, it was 8. No tears on my face, no remorse. I just knew I was going to jail.
But with his death, X would never have a chance to defend himself from the accusations, and so he's left behind a truly mixed legacy. He knew he was a bad person. He even said he deserves whatever's coming to him. On the other hand, he remains in the hearts of many. I still love my boy, I'm sorry, rest in peace. And much like X, Pop Smoke's legacy has been taking a beating since he passed. At his prime, Pop was recognized far and wide as the face of drill in the USA. Growing up in the hood environment of Canarsie, New York, Pop had up-close experiences with violence. By the time he was in the 8th grade, he already had a criminal record and had spent 2 years under house arrest for possessing a firearm. Even as he grew up, the violence followed, which is exactly how one seemingly harmless Instagram post, where he flexed some designer bags, sealed his fate.
Wait. Make 'em merry, make 'em merry.
From this video, people were able to track the location where he was staying, and at approximately 4:30 a.m., a 15-year-old masked intruder, along with his 3 friends, broke into his Airbnb. Then, while he was naked and showering, the 15-year-old shot him 4 times, killing Pop Smoke before taking off with his valuables. Although the killers were eventually caught, this loss was especially devastating. RIP to my man Pop Smoke. No sympathy for winners, God bless him. You can't say Pop and forget the smoke. RIP. Pop was an up-and-coming artist who put meticulous effort into each and every sound that he created, proven by the consistent popularity his music has garnered over the years, like his hit song Dior, which has surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify alone. Pop Smoke was so influential that he still has artists trying to copy his style, like his close collaborator 504. There is also CJ, whose song Whoopty has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, even being labeled by Pitchfork News as a shameless ripoff. But as they say, imitation is the highest form of flattery. And in an ironic twist, while the artists accused of biting Pop Smoke's style were finding success, Pop's relatives who were in charge of his brand after death released what many considered an abandonment of the music style he spent so long cultivating. Just taking a look at one of the worst songs released after his death, called Tell the Vision featuring Kanye West, is enough to understand why it's still getting roasted to this day. I've heard a lot of horrible music in my life, but this song has got to be the worst thing I've ever heard. They got Pop Smoke recording out the McDonald's drive-thru speaker. Pop Smoke didn't die for this shit. And it wasn't just the fans who saw the stain on his legacy. Pop's manager and collaborator Rico Beats once said in a leaked DM that if Pop was alive, he would not have approved 99% of the stuff they put out. It's pretty clear that although Pop Smoke's legacy has been spit on by people looking to make a quick buck, others are trying to carry it on through imitation. And so while Pop Smoke's death marked the end of a rising drill star's career, Takeoff's passing marked the end of trap rap's most influential group. Joined with his uncle Quavo and their non-blood related cousin Offset, the trio made
the Migos!
Despite their legendary 2016 to 2018 run, signs of a split began to show, even without an official breakup, proving that all good things eventually come to an end. For example, when Quavo and Takeoff shortly rebranded themselves as Unk and Few with their album release Only Built for Infinity Links, Offset was noticeably absent. It'll never be the same without Offset. Migos is and was a great group. Takeoff is the best. Quavo has the swag. Offset was the most aggressive. Wish they got back together. Fans didn't get much time to mourn the Migos breakup when something even more tragic happened. On the 1st of November 2022, Takeoff along with Quavo and some friends were attending a private party, and at some point, a heated argument during a gambling game occurred, followed by shots fired, with Takeoff being hit in the crossfire and later dying of his wounds. Takeoff's sudden and seemingly accidental death was tragic to say the least, but it prompted Offset to step forward to clear the air regarding the relationship between the Migos.
I cry every day. I'm unhealed. I'm being honest. Yeah. You know what I mean? I lost my brother.
Offset would go on to state that Takeoff was the glue that held the Migos together, and that the group would officially end as it wouldn't be right to continue without him. And so with that, every fan's dream for some sort of Migos revival was over, along with the short Unk and Few movement, before it even really had a chance to start. However, Takeoff's music has remained pretty much as relevant as it was when he was still alive, with the biggest spike in attention coming after Quavo's tribute to him, where he performed his single Without You at the 2023 Grammys. All in all, his low-key persona and unique take on trap music can now be considered a lost art form. To put it simply, there will never be anything like the Migos ever again. All fans get now are his after-death releases, and works from artists like Lil Baby, who've cited the Migos as his inspiration. But while Takeoff's passing might have meant the end of a movement, Tupac's meant the end of an era. Tupac, at just 25 years old, had achieved more than most rappers achieve in their entire careers. To many, he was a poet, to some an activist, and to others a thug. See, Tupac was not a perfect man. Despite speaking out against senseless gang violence, he lived a life full of gang culture, from his aesthetic to the people he surrounded himself with. But this same violence he associated with was what ultimately led to his demise.
Just 2 months after shooting this music video, Tupac Shakur was gunned down in an unsolved drive-by in Las Vegas.
Although he had a relatively short career, Tupac has left behind a powerful and enduring legacy, with massively popular rappers like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole still taking inspiration from him. But it wasn't just his music he was loved for. Many people considered Pac to be a symbol of freedom fighting and living according to your own rules, a point easily proven by the dozens of murals around the world depicting him. The greatest thing about Pac's music is that it sounded good back in '96 and '97, but as I've gotten older, the message in the song and wording hits harder 30 years later. Cutest Tupac ever. Just remember though, if you ever feel sad about this rap legend's sudden death, don't, because he made a great point.
We look at death from a selfish side, like, you know, that guy died, oh, it's so sad. Why is it sad? He's away from all of this bad stuff that's here on earth. I mean, at the worst, he's just somewhere quiet, no nothing. At best, he's an angel, or he's at the next existence, or he's a spirit somewhere.
So it goes without saying that Tupac is widely recognized as one of the most positive aspects of hip-hop. But you definitely cannot say the same thing about King Von, who grew up as a gangbanger with talent in Chicago's infamous O Block. After dropping hit after hit, his music career blew up. However, he never left the gangster life behind, and pretty soon it caught up with him. On the 6th of November 2020, King Von and his crew got into a fight with another rapper named Quando Rondo and his crew outside a club in Atlanta, Georgia. Things escalated and Von got shot multiple times, ending his life. Quickly after his death, people started digging into his history and realized a chilling truth. He wasn't just a rapper, but a serial killer too. In older tweets, he would mock his ops that died under suspicious circumstances and publicly talk about plans to commit murder, among many other similarly unhinged tweets. I remember Modell with the one eye from St. Louis. It's f***ed up what happened to him. #straight sucka. Just got a new gun and I can't wait to use it. Bro was killing people and dropping clues like the Riddler. However, it wasn't just fans who were digging up his secrets. The authorities officially linked Vaughn to the murders of Modell McCambry, K.I., Malcolm Stuckey, and FBG Duck. Keep in mind, not everyone on this list was a gangbanger. Some killings were done purely for his personal gratification. Even worse, this is just the official list. Word on the street ties Vaughn to way more murders and attempted murders. But even with these revelations, Vaughn is still loved for his music, receiving 11.3 million monthly listeners today, and comments saying this shit still goes hard in 2024 and 2025. The storytelling in this is unmatched. You can practically see the whole scene play out in your head. But with the public awareness of all the blood on his hands, King Von has left behind a truly mixed legacy of being one of rap's most talented modern artists, but also its very first serial killer. But unlike Vaughn, who was notorious for hurting those around him, the next rapper's only crime was hurting himself. Juice WRLD's special brand of emo rap propelled him to new heights of fame, winning Billboard's Top Artist Award, among others. But that emo music stemmed from depression and personal struggles, which he coped with through heavy drug use, as seen in many videos posted online, like mixing lean, and nodding off during an interview.
I want you to describe that single and that track that we're playing right now. Hey, give me a little bit on Lucid Dreams. Describe that track to me.
My apologies.
To outright popping Percocets on camera.
Nobody except for me and you.
It got so bad that on the 8th of December 2019, Juice arrived at Chicago's Midway Airport, where federal agents were waiting, ready to search the plane for drugs. But in an attempt to hide these drugs, Juice consumed several pills, and that was it. He died of an overdose at the age of 21. Even though he's been dead for more than 5 years, Juice WRLD is still universally loved and missed. The sheer popularity of the music released after his passing proves it, with 497,000 first-week sales, making it the biggest post-death debut of the century, along with receiving over 29.5 million monthly Spotify streams to this day. So it goes without saying, Juice WRLD was loved by his fans, but he was loved even more by his peers in and out of the rap genre, like when Nicki Minaj delivered a heartfelt tribute to him during her acceptance speech at the Billboard Women in Music event, while Lil Nas X also made his own tribute, playing Juice WRLD's hit song Lucid Dreams during a performance. And so Juice left a legacy that will always be remembered, thanks to his raw and authentic lyrics. Now, if you'd like to support me, please hit the subscribe button and feel free to watch my newest upload here.